a sweat. Homie talking shit, then I'ma fuck him up and break his neck. Throw that fuck boy all around right now, right down the solid 100 bands and I ain't break a sweat. Homie talking shit, then I'ma fuck him up and break his neck. Throw that fuck boy all around right now, right down the mid my set. Oh boy, you nothing like original. I had that bitch, I let her go. She was on my dick, all kinds of blow. And I just thought I'd let you know that bitch that you fucking is nothing for discussion. A couple bad moves, got you bleeding, got you gushing on. So I'ma go and pull off in a black Mercedes. I had 2 hoes in the whip yelling baby. Goner is the one, can you tell it lately? They gave this boy the power, can you fucking blame me? All them on me, oh they know I'm next. I just made a solid 100 bands and I ain't break a sweat. Homie talking shit, then I'ma fuck him up and break his neck. Throw that fuck boy all around right now, right down the mid my set. All them all up on me, oh they know I'm next. I just made a solid 100 bands and I ain't break a sweat. Homie talking shit, then I'ma fuck him up and break his neck. Throw that fuck boy all around right now, right down the mid my set.
Go, what you trying to know next? I don't wanna chill with you unless you bring it more tight. I can't even hear what you saying, I'm off Percocet. I can't even hear what you saying, I'm off Helamet. She calling my phone, she like, sorry I miss you baby, you left me alone. Go sublime, you fucking hate me, leave me in my zone. I'm a goner in the club, sipping on Patron, counting bands and fucking up. God, bitch of helicopter.
All them on me, oh they know I'm next. I just made a solid 100 bands and I ain't break a sweat. Homie talking shit, then I'ma fuck him up and break his neck. Throw that fuck boy all around right now, right down the mid my set. All them all up on me, oh they know I'm next. I just made a solid 100, I'ma fuck him up and break his neck. Throw that fuck boy all around right now, right down the mid my set. All your best friends still follow me. Yeah, your main girl on the side, that sneaky shit, she hit me up. You see, and they ain't never got nothing onto me. The way I walk around with my chains and these Prada jeans. Yeah, she know she messing with a prodigy. My mama called saying that she love me and she proud of me, but I'ma need a meal before I feel that way. I'ma take a quick flight, know the deal, go MIA. I've been stuck inside in this quarantine. There's a lot on my mind, but that's all to me. I think that I've died every couple dreams. Is it so wrong what I feel in me? Oh no, is this what's always been killing me? I've been right and I've been wrong and I've been in between. I might go back in time if it's up to me. I wish that you would see what they see in me. All your best friends still follow me. Yeah, your main girl on the side, that sneaky shit, she hit me up. You see, and they ain't never got nothing onto me. The way I walk around with my chains and these Prada jeans. Yeah, she know she messing with a prodigy. My mama called saying that she love me and she proud of me, but I'ma need a meal before I feel that way. I'ma take a quick flight, know the deal, go MIA. My mama called saying that she love me and she proud of me. Take a quick flight, know the deal, go MIA.
Sorry for the lack of affection. I've been going through a lot. I think it's time for me to find a new profession. Maybe learn something, better lessons. I was young, dumb, just an adolescent. Ha. All your best friends still follow me. Yeah, your main girl on the side, that sneaky shit, she hit me up. You see, and they ain't never got nothing onto me.
Yo.
The way I walk around with my chains and these Prada jeans. Yeah, she know she messing with a prodigy.
So like,
Hey guys, we are live. We are here. We made it. What's going on, Goner?
Hey yo, I'm chilling. What's up?
Everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on, chat? Everybody, Roshi, Doughboy, Donald, Cybo, Phantoms, Trash Boy, Swain, Cloudy. Thank you guys for joining the chat. Appreciate all of you. Episode number 19 of Spooky Sunday is officially underway.
Sweet.
Hey, I just want to say thank you, Ghana, for showing up and hanging out with us for a little bit of your time this week, man. I've been watching you. Looks like you've been grinding a lot lately. It looks like you've been performing a bunch of shows, actually.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. I've definitely, I've been keeping up with your stuff too for, honestly, man, since I probably started music myself, bro. Like,
wow.
back in like 2018, 2019, I like really just dove into it and like found people that I was like, damn, they're deep in that shit. You know what I mean? Like, they know what they're doing. And I remember following you and like being, looking at your stuff and seeing everything you were doing. And then when you messaged me about getting on this, I was like, hell yeah.
Hey, man, I'm really happy to have you, honestly. I just like having different artists on, getting to know people, networking, getting my community a little bit more involved in what's happening, growing the community as we do it, So like I have artists on here and we do it here in the Discord. So they bring some people with every time, and I grow and you grow all at the same time, and it ends up being like a really beautiful thing. Even if it's not a huge step. Also, I really like the idea of archiving, cool stuff in the underground. Yeah. I like being able to kind of step in and kind of help create a platform for artists that, as platforms are disappearing and becoming more YouTube channels than underground music channels, it's become like a harder thing to find, I feel like. So I love, and I'm really grateful to be able to share your story, get to know you a little bit, for people to familiarize themselves with you, your art, and your journey, and the stuff that you're doing. And I'm just really happy to have you here, bro.
Hey man, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Shout outs to everybody in the voice channel as well. Brutal, Swain, Angel, and then somebody new, Willard. Is it Willard or Willard?
Yeah, it's Willard.
Welcome. Appreciate you for pulling up and showing some support for me and Goner. Means a lot. So I'm happy to have you guys. Goner, what kind of stuff have you, I said, I asked you a little bit earlier about your performing. Like, you just went to a music festival, right?
Yeah. I just did Restless Music Festival in Austin. Super fun. I had Jaleel also performed there and killed it. My friends, who killed XIX was there. Brendan Savage, my homie Since When. So many performers that absolutely went nuts. So Restless Fest and like Mike Zemer and everybody that's putting that together, that also does So What Music Festival. They're doing it right, man. Like they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're looking for, and I think that's like really underrated because they put their shows together so well. And I feel like when it comes to like this, not necessarily this scene of artists, but like artists in general, it's like it's so much pandemonium and so much craziness that like I can't even imagine like putting on a show and having to like deal with the venue and the artists and all this stuff. So like mad respect to them. But yeah, man, I've been just grinding and working and just doing shows whenever they come up, man.
Well, they seem to be coming up for you pretty often, and I love to see that because I do know what you're talking about. Setting up a show is not as easy as you would think it is. It's difficult to find the right venue, the right location, to be able to actually speak to the person in charge. It could even be a difficult thing, and then a lot of times they kind of want a little bit of money up front or some sort of guarantee in sales or something like that, and it really does make it pretty difficult for smaller artists, just in general, in the underground scene and stuff like that, to do that. So exactly. I do really appreciate all the people that get out and get on the road. Our last episode was with Dead Stark, and he was actually on tour. He was just driving around the country, and they were setting up for a show as he was like chilling with us. So I just like to kind of like get a little bit of a better understanding of like what the artists are up to, and just kind of like hopefully build a little bit of inspiration for people that are kind of like, oh man, this is something that I want to do more of, or hopefully it'll help motivate them to try to make something like that happen.
Yeah, for sure. That, man,
I've even myself. Go ahead.
No. I think we all have been in that situation where you wanted to start, you didn't know how, or you wanted you needed like that little push, and I think that's sick that you're aiming to be that for somebody, because I think that's like you have the opportunity to change people's lives, bro. So fire.
The secret to building a really strong community is offer a lot of value to that community, and I try to do that as much as I can. Part of Spooky Sunday, in fact, is playing community music. So I have like a little channel right next to the Spooky Sunday voice channel that's Spooky Sunday, and then right above that it says entry submissions. So if people are artists or whatever and they want their music played on this stream while I'm like hanging out with a certain artist or whatever on any particular Sunday, they just have to go over a couple of rules to help prevent abuse of it. Otherwise, then you just post a link in my Spooky Sunday channel, and I'll play community music just on the stream. Not even necessarily to like review it or to say what I like about it or not like about it, but just to give them some sort of platform so that they know that I'm creating some sort of value for them by playing their music.
For
that
sure.
Makes sense.
No, totally, yeah. I'm sick.
Because I feel like most places that play, or most streamers or whatever that play music, they they do like a bunch of people's, and they a lot of times will talk a little bit of shit or rarely say something nice, and then they'll usually charge some sort of
or not play it on stream. That might have, dude. When I started, bro, the amount of times that happened to me, like I paid streamers or whatever it was, and like I was like, hey, yeah, check out this song. I'll send you $10, whatever. Never came up.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, jeez.
I guess it was $10, but
Yeah, and there are good people that do that kind of stuff, but it's just not really my cup of tea. I don't really want to review my community's art like that on that level, like publicly. I would rather shoot them like feedback on it, like in a DM or something, just because like I understand how difficult it is to put yourself out there, and I don't want to be like the person to be like, because a lot of people even are, especially artists, artists in general are sensitive people. I'm a sensitive person. And to say something like, like, oh, I kind of hate this, or this is trash, or or even imply it on some sort of level, I think could break their spirit, which isn't really what we're trying to do around here. I'm trying to build something a lot more positive. So
yeah, dude, I feel that for sure. I think there's too much negativity. It's just music in general in the world, and too much. Everybody is just so like, I don't want to say. I think hateful is the wrong word. Like everybody's like looking for everybody's downfall, and like this artist makes one song you don't like, or this person like show doesn't do as good or whatever. It doesn't mean they like are absolute trash, or like they fell off or whatever. Like I think it's just, or like even like, bro, like Yeet, for example. Everybody, like I love his music, bro. That's just me personally, but I think he did the damn thing, you know what I mean? And like everybody's like, this music is so trash and all this shit, but it's like, who's to decide? You know what I mean? Like, who's to decide whether or not this music is good? It's all internally. So
yeah, it's all subjective for sure, and like there's no like scale or like scientific formula that you apply to a song to know whether it's good or not. It's really truly all about what somebody thinks about it. And I've been saying for a while, just like even earlier today before we started the stream, that like there's like when you have a song that creates conversation, it's that's what kind of art is really meant for, really. Like you're not gonna please everybody. You're never gonna make everybody happy, even if you did all the right things, and there will still always be haters or somebody that will say something negative about you. So I think that you should always just personally do you, and I like to say also lean into the things that make you weird.
Oh yeah, for sure. Stand out, don't.
Yeah.
There's way too much, like, another thing that, like, I think that I've definitely, like, developed with myself is, like, being comfortable in the fact of, like, doing what I want to do, and, like, not caring about whether or not it's, like, what's the word? Like, seen as weird or, like, out there or whatever, because everything that's ever been seen as that is, like, it works. You know what I mean? Or it resonates in some sort of way that, like, everything else didn't. So I think that, like, I don't know, I guess everything will have its moment and like kind of shine through when if it's good or not, like, it's going to catch on or it's not going to work. So
yeah, and if a million people are talking about you and 500,000 people are loving your music, worry about them, like don't worry about the other people that don't really matter. Like I say with like my stream even, it's not about who comes through, it's about who stays. It's about the people that come back next week. It's about the people that play your next song that, they're waiting on. Those are the people that we worry about. We don't worry about the people that are like, waiting
Exactly.
for you to not sell out a show so that they can get online, and somehow that makes a headline of all things. It doesn't even make sense, really.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was getting at before. Is like there's just so much negativity and so much like everything that's negative will pop up on your feed. Like I don't know,
Because
man.
if you think about it, I think it's because negativity is an attention grabber a lot of times. Like it's very powerful. You know, it's not positivity even like with I don't know if you follow Mr. Beast, but you know he did some stuff lately like cured people of blindness. You know, I mean it really was just a cataract surgery, which wasn't that big of a deal, but people were hating on him because you know he's out there doing these things, but he's getting money from it.
Yeah.
And you know, there's like, it's like, is it better for the world if Mr. Beast isn't doing doing nice things, or is it worse? You know, and it's like, in my opinion, I think it's still better, even if he's profiting off of a capitalist system. He's still doing good things.
Yeah,
But
he's
there's always
still-
going to be reason to hate him for one thing or another. You know.
Bro, I think I tweeted about that the other day. I was like, everybody that is talking negatively about what he's doing wouldn't do what he's doing even if they had the money to do it. So like, it's just like you can't ever speak on this like if you're not even in the position or not even near. So like, let alone that. But it's like if you had the money, would you give back in the sense that he's giving back? You know what I mean? I think that's what really need to like shine the light on is like he's doing good. He could be just chilling inside and doing nothing for nobody at all and still
And
making.
that's what I'm saying. Like, people will still hate on you for going out and doing good things because you're getting paid for it or benefiting it in one way or another. But, you know, it's pretty much impossible to avoid. You know, it's like what Mr. Beast is doing is like what we would want millionaires and billionaires to do. That's what we would want them to do. Like, if we were like, hey, these billionaires have all this money, but they just fucking hoard it. Like, why don't they do like things like hear people's or pay for people's you know, and even like show that they did it. I don't think that there would be anything wrong with that.
I truthfully don't think there's anything wrong with showing that. I think like there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it for sure. But I think like, you know, if you're walking around like handing like people on the street money and like posting it and, you know, trying to get some sort of attention from that, I understand how that's a little a reach.
I think that
you know?
homeless, I think the homeless people are kind of abused in certain ways with social media because they're in a really bad situation to begin with, and then people kind of like are getting notoriety off of like helping them, like, and barely doing really anything for them. You know, it's kind of like I'll give you $50 or whatever, and it's like that is nice, but
I think the people that I like and the people that I've been inspired by and like what I live my life based off of is like people that will do, you know, small gestures of kindness but not have to put it out there at all. You know, like there's been how many times where I don't know, countless amount of times where I walk down Hollywood Boulevard. Like I live literally so close to Hollywood Boulevard where it's a terrible homeless problem. Like there's no reason why there's many people that should be living on the street because there's plenty of space for them to have a space to live. There's no reason the government shouldn't be looking out. That's a whole other story. But like, there's amount of countless times that I've, you know, given people money or bought them food or whatever, but I don't have to go and post about it or, you know, every day. It's like, I just do it because if it was me in that position, I would want somebody to help me, you know? So.
yeah, I mean, homelessness is a huge problem everywhere, but particularly where you live. Are you from there or were you raised elsewhere? Are you Go ahead. Transplant was the word I was looking for. Are you a transplant?
Yeah, pretty much, dude. I was born in New York, and then I lived in Florida for like most of my life. My parents still live there, so I was living with them, and then that's where I really got involved in like the music scene. So I like was about 16, 17, and I became a music photographer, and videographer. So then I was working for like festival and EDC and like doing all those kind of shows, like EDM shows, and I would be paid under the table, and I would have to like use a friend's ID to like get into these venues and all that, but I still had like the full media passes and shit, so I was like, hell yeah, this is great. So then I got my introduction to music, and I always knew that I wanted to do music myself. I just didn't have the balls to do it, to be 100 with you. I didn't have like the guts to, basically what we were talking about before, I didn't want to be shut out and like classified as something, you know, like this is absolute trash, or, you know, this guy is fucking cringy as shit or whatever. but then eventually, I got over that, and I started doing things. And when people started like gravitating towards it, and like it kind of made me, more confident in myself. And then, I moved to LA when I was 19, and I've been there ever since. So about 4 years now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's definitely a lot of places. I mean, the top right of the country to the bottom right of the country to the left of the country, like no in betweens, dude. Just straight, all the corners basically.
I know,
but
dude.
yeah, just speaking even more on what you were saying is like people are very eager to like even compare you when you're first getting going to other artists too. Like Swain is in the chat, and I know that he gets unfair comparisons, and I know it's just an annoying thing. And it kind of just puts people down in certain ways. But sometimes people are trying to say it in a nice way if they're a fan, you sound like this. But I think a lot of times an artist takes that a little the wrong way. What do you think of that?
I think, speaking from my personal experience, I've always wanted to be myself, but I wanted people to like know that I was inspired by things, or know that like it's no fucking question that like obviously Peep and X and Juice and everybody like this inspired the person that I am and inspired the music, there's no question about it. But I think that when people like start comparing artists and being like, you sound maybe too much like this, or this is too much, it's like everything is so unoriginal at this point that everybody sounds like somebody. Like, so I don't really take any offense to like people saying I sound like somebody, or like I remind them of them, or anything like that, because anybody that's ever really I've cared about their opinions, or like actual fans that like the music, or like me, or anything like that, they've always told me it in like a nice, genuine way, where it was like they can tell I'm inspired by things, and like it's cool because they get the feeling of whatever I was inspired by, So I love that. Yeah, I think music is all about feeling for me. I mean, when I make songs, I just do it based off feelings. I don't really have any specific like topics or anything like that in mind. I kind of just go off of, I want you to feel something. I want you to like feel exactly the feeling that I meant, or the feeling that I intended for you to feel while I was making it. That's kind of how I make
that
my
connection.
Yeah, because it's just all feelings to me, man. I feel like, that's why it's all subjective as well. It's just whatever you feel.
What is your like process like then with music? Do you typically do you have a home studio? Do you go to have a home studio, so you usually work at home?
Yeah, I usually work at home. I learned how to like engineer myself and like mix my vocals during the pandemic, actually. So nice. I like spent a couple months just really studying that, because I was 20 years old and I was going broke, and I couldn't afford to pay people to mix my songs, even though I really wanted to, and all this stuff, and cause I was already paying the producers and whatever else, and the promotion and all that crap. And so I learned how to mix my own stuff, and I pretty much always recorded at home, even in the beginning when I had really, really bad equipment, which is another thing I would like to touch on, because I think everybody's so under this, you like good shit and you really don't. And it's like, and I know you hear it time and time again, but it's like you don't have to break your back over getting like a $2,000 microphone when you can just get one off Amazon real quick and get going, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I'll record times for sure. It depends on the circumstance. Like me my homie Illustrious, he lives in LA. He has a studio called Ill Intent, and I usually will go there and record some stuff. And I mean, I like a studio vibe, but I also really like at home. I really like just feeling like I don't have any pressure, like to do what I want to do or say what I want to say. And
yeah, there's a lot more personal. It's a lot more personal for sure.
Yeah,
to be at home.
Exactly. Yep. But I'll make something usually. I'll make something at home, and then I'll like take it to the studio and be like, hey, this is kind of the direction. Let's like make it better. Let's add some oomph to it. You know what I mean?
And now you can just work with your friends or your colleagues or whatever over things like Discord now. Where it's so easy just being able to share your screen and the voice chat and like, oh yeah, do this, do that, and now it's like you're working in the same room together.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's pretty wild because, you know, even just 20 years ago, that was not really a thing at all. And the resources available to artists were pretty slim, you know? So I think that we just got to keep taking advantage of any resources that we have, really, you know?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I try to get people closer to my age. Like, you got to get on Discord, you know?
Yeah. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
35.
35? Bro, I thought you were like 22.
People say that, and it makes me happy.
No, yeah.
Makes me happy.
Nah, bro, you're chilling. He's chilling.
I'm doing okay so far, man. I appreciate it.
You're
But yeah,
doing great.
35. I was born in 1987, and I grew up in a time period where the internet was not developed at all.
Damn.
You know, and there was no real social media. There was message boards in the beginning, and yeah, it's just crazy to see time change and to see all the things that are available now to people, and there's still excuses, you know? Like, even technology with like a good microphone is really cheap now. A lot of people even record on their phones, you know, and almost everybody has a phone now.
So many songs that I've heard, like, recorded with a little in-ear wired, like, Apple iPhone, not Apple iPhone, Apple, you know, headphones, and it sounds just fine. Like, like,
No,
you know what I mean?
know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's pretty nuts.
It's interesting that you started off as like a photographer and like a videographer and stuff like that. Did you use that to like help market and promote yourself? Because you're like, oh, I understand photography or what looks good on, you know, from a camera's point of view. I can definitely help myself with that.
Yeah, I didn't ever think this would pan out the way it did, like, you know, with me doing photography and it helping me in the long run. But overall, when I started, I kind of figured out the image that I wanted, if that makes sense. Like, I kind of figured out the vibe and the image and like the branding of Goner, you know what I mean? Like, I knew exactly what I wanted, and I knew exactly where I wanted things to be, like how I want to be perceived, and the dark, grungy, and like, you know, because it was all based off personal feelings and like kind of where I was coming from. And, you know, Goner is a person or a thing that can't be saved. It's, you know, it's the definition of Goner is that. And when I started, I had my old Instagram, which was @Goner, which they banned me like 8 months ago.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about this because we kind of talked a little bit about it, but I think it's an important point to bring up because I've lost a big count on Twitter as well years ago. And I think that people don't understand how impactful that it is to a smaller and independent artist, you know, to lose something like that. And the fact that Instagram doesn't really do anything to help you recover it if it gets hacked, or really offer you any sort of real security to help, you know, fight the hacking or the spamming or the phishing or whatever. But you have an experience with that, and I don't know if you'd like to talk about it, but I'm definitely interested in hearing about it.
I'll talk about it, man. I hate them, but yeah, I went through a little time period where I really felt like it was kind of over. You know what I mean? And it's weird because I felt like right directly before that I was at the highest peak of my quote unquote career. Like, I was doing shows back to back to back. I just got booked for a tour. I was, you know, finally like stable with money, which, you know, is
not easy.
I was super grateful. Yeah. And that was because my income was basically my Instagram and music, you know, shows and brand deals and promotion, and like there'd be brands sending me boxes of clothes, and I'd post it up for, you know, however much money, and I'd pay my rent, you know what I mean? And like, and I'd also get free clothes at the same time. Like, it was great. It was wonderful. So I think social media can be used to such an advantage that it's incredible, but I wish so badly that their customer service and their support, or like their understanding of actually caring about creators, because they claim to care so much about creators on their platform and all this stuff, when it's like, I can show you like 500 people that I just spoke to that lost their income, all of their followers and connections, like everything they ever worked for the last decade or whatever. And so yeah, I mean, I had just hit 105,000 followers on Instagram. I was verified for like 3 years prior to that. My username was @Goner, so I was chilling. I was pretty happy with that. And yeah, I mean, I made that like in 2013 or 2014. And Like, so because I was also like my photography like, thing. It was, never use my legal name for anything. It was always just Goner. So touch back on what we were getting at. When I was a photographer, I was, constantly posting on there, and then artists would repost me or Ultra or whatever it was. And I'd meet people, and I grew the following. It was already a music following before I even started doing music myself, which panned out to work. And then, yeah, dude, I got banned, and I appealed it, and I thought for sure I was gonna get it back. So I was like, I'm verified. There's no reason. There must be some sort of different appeal situation when you're verified and then you're not verified. If a non-verified account lost their account versus a verified one, I thought it'd be different. Nope, it's even harder. So I was
That's
like,
crazy.
shit. Yeah. So apparently, because I have a couple friends that work at Meta, but they just don't have the tools to bring an account back. You know what I mean? So they work there and they know the ins and outs of it, but they don't have they can view your account from the inside, but they can't unban your account or do any of that crap. So they were telling me even themselves don't understand why they're I forgot exactly the team name of it. It was they're engineering a team or something, but they were we don't understand why they're not giving you your account back. You're clearly an artist, you're clearly yourself, you're verified, you've been verified since 2019, all this stuff. I was getting paid from Instagram for posting. I was and it was, I was making a solid amount of cash, so I was pretty content. And then when all that went down, it was a really hit to the gut, because I was damn, I just lost everything. So I stopped. Yeah, dude, it really sucked. It really, as corny and stupid as it sounds, I think when it first happened to me, I was do I feel like I'm so stupid for feeling this way? I was I feel like I'm so caught up in it and all this stuff.
No,
but then
because that was your business. That was literally your business. That was your website. That was your way of communicating with your customers. That was your actual business. That was your business page.
Yeah, and I have
you were using it for business.
Yeah, and I had a lot of DMs and stuff with friends that have passed away, and and it was a lot of personal stuff that never really even hit me until later on. And I thought about it, and damn, I lost so much shit. Old pictures that I archived. I never deleted anything. I always archived everything because I didn't want to lose anything. So even from when I made the account, everything's been archived since 2014. So all the photography stuff, all the Ultra stuff was still there. So it definitely was a shot to the heart, and I went on a little hiatus for 8-9 months and didn't go on social media. I didn't make any music. I didn't really do anything. I think I dropped a cover of a Taylor Swift song, and it was the song called Crying, and I was I felt that shit so heavy, because I was dude, I feel my back's against the wall, and I feel I'm trying my best to make this work, and I'm 23 alone in Los Angeles. My parents are across the fucking country, and I moved out here and sacrificed being with my parents are old, man. I'm gonna keep it real, my parents are old, and they're 70 something right now, and I can't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're 70 something, and I'm the baby of the family, so I have
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I got 4 brothers and 1 sister. So I got a big family, and my parents, they had me 15 years after my brother. So I was a big, and I feel chasing my career and chasing my dream and wanting to make them proud, I sacrificed time with them, I sacrificed being there, and
because they're not going to be around forever like anybody is.
Exactly. And so that's something that really weighs on me as a person. I think my parents are they've always been there. They've always been that person that I can turn to. It doesn't matter what it is, so I'm so grateful for that. But I sacrificed a lot to make this work, you know what I mean? And nobody sees that. I never talked about it. I never went on anything and said that, but I sacrificed all the time with them and everything like that. So when I feel I lost everything, it was damn, there's so much more.
Wasted all my time almost.
So much more to it. And but I remember calling my mom, and I remember, bro, I was dead broke. Dead broke. I had $13 in my account, and this was 7-8 months ago. And I called my mom, and I was sobbing, crying. I was I was like, Mom, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I was like, I feel like I made it for a second, and then it felt like it was all taken away. Like as dumb as that sounds. And because I know I was never, and I still am not the biggest artist, obviously. And and things aren't at millions and millions of streams and whatever. But I was still making what I wanted, and I was surviving, and I was like so content with that. But not in a content in a way, want more, but like in a content in a way where I was grateful that like I worked my ass off to get there. And I called her up and I was sobbing my eyes out, and I was like, Mom, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I was like, I'm broke and I'm here, and I feel like I moved across the country for no reason, and I did all this stuff, and I feel like I messed up. I feel like this is it. And she talked to me for like a good 2 hours, and like was like, you need to keep at it. She's like, you have people that love you for you, and it doesn't matter what who you are or what follower count or all this crap. The people that actually care are going to be there just the same way that always has been. And I think hearing it from my mom definitely like hit home with me, and I just kind of sucked it up and been like, yo, like I need to just get back on the fucking shit and just quit everybody has a hard life, you know what I mean? Everybody has some shit, so I need to get back on the grind. And I made a new Instagram and ran it up.
And it's called Goner's Revenge.
Goner's Revenge, yeah.
So if you guys want to follow him on Instagram, it is no longer Goner. That is gone.
Nope. It's gone.
It is now Goner's Revenge at on Instagram.
Yep.
Gotta say what's up to everybody that's in the YouTube chat, by the way. Thank you, Zway, for pulling up and showing love. My girl Roshi's in the chat. The lovely, legendary Swain, Trash Boy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys all for coming and hanging out with us on episode 19 of Spooky Sunday. If you're just tuning in, we're hanging out with Goner. Love hearing about your stories, to be totally honest, man. I'm actually really fascinated and interested because I personally have lost, like I said, a giant Twitter account. And I want to say it had like 130,000 followers or something like that, and I was able to make things go viral. I had, this was OG Twitter. This was like 2013 or 2014, something like that. This is almost 10 years ago. But I was able to like get things trending, even like certain words trending, and yeah, I ended up making a little bit of money because I had this Vine video, if you remember Vine, of like one of my dog's tail, and he was like sitting next to my other dog, and he was like hitting him on the head. And I ended up making this Vine that did pretty good, and then I shared it onto my Twitter when it was at its peak, and it went viral, and it went to the front page of Reddit. And from there, I had like multiple people or companies reaching out to me asking to license the video, and I ended up settling with a company called.
You ever do that?
I didn't hear.
You ever do the tweet where you're like, buy this product under the tweet? You know what I mean? And the replies. Never mind. Never mind. That was a whole different Twitter then. I remember like day, like they used to be like the TweetDeck thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like
I remember those.
Everybody would be on TweetDeck, and then brands would be like, post this ad in the replies and we'll pay you like however many retweets, $5 a retweet or whatever.
Well, it started as like a meme page, basically, so it was a lot of funny stuff, and that really helped a lot, so it started like that, and then I had other pages that were doing similar things that I followed that had equal or so following as me, and what we would do is we would trade retweets, so they would post like something funny, I would retweet it, I would post something funny, they would retweet it, and we would just like do it between like a little group of other accounts, so we all kind of like helped each other come up.
True. It's fire. I miss social media in those days, kind of, man. Like
things are certainly different now. Just even with Instagram talking about it now, Meta announced, who owns obviously Facebook and Instagram, they announced that they're implementing a similar new verification system that's a little bit like Twitter, and the way that they're describing it is, well, now you have security and you have customer support, and I think that's actually kind of hilarious because they didn't offer either of those before. And it's been a long time. It's been freaking years.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious for one, and I think it's like just ironic as hell because I feel like I didn't lose that much now. Does that make sense? Like I felt like the verification.
Well, yeah, but no, because you did put all the time and effort into building up the account. Whether it was verified or not doesn't really matter too much to me. But if you're a business though, this is where like I have Twitter Blue. But
Yeah.
Spooky Gang is a business, and any benefit or like anything that you could use to your advantage, like any tool that you can use, because the way that they're shifting the Twitter algorithm is they're going to show like under the replies who you follow or who follows you first, and then they're going to show you verified accounts, and then they're going to show you unverified accounts. So it's kind of like if you're a business, you don't want to be buried by people that are all investing in their business by having Twitter Blue or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I think that that's a bad thing and a good thing, because I think that Twitter should theoretically be able to solve the bot problem without charging people money to prove they're not bots.
Right.
But, you know, like, it's like Mr. Beast. We were talking about it earlier. Like, you can't hate on him for playing the game. Like, this is the game, dude. Like, this is the new Twitter game. Like, we can't... Like, if you're a business on Twitter, you need every tool to your advantage. You can't not invest in yourself, you know?
Yep,
So it's social media is
I
turning into a weird place right now.
Yeah, I the whole Instagram verification thing, I seen that and I laughed like out loud, and then I thought about it and I was like, well, maybe if I do it on my new account, maybe then I can get support and get my old account back. So I'm hoping, like, my fingers
That's
crossed.
actually a funny idea. Like, hey, now that I've support, I want to ask you about this other account.
Right, because I like did a little research on Twitter, and I kind of like when they announced the US thing. I did a little research on Twitter, and I seen people saying they were getting old accounts back through it. So
No way.
I'm hoping.
That'd be huge for you, bro. I'm really hoping that works out for you. That'd be absolutely big to have that back. I've seen so many artists on Instagram get banned or lose their account recently. I know Shinigami lost his account recently within the last 6 months, I want to say. And it's
NASCAR.
like, yeah, so it's pretty sad because you know, a lot of these artists like you or whoever else, like these are people that spent a lot of time and effort, put a lot of effort and energy into building up this as a business and using Instagram or whatever it is as their website, as their platform, you know, to operate their business. And to have that stripped away just in an instant with no actual real reason, no actual real like explanation is like it F's with people's lives, dude, like horribly, you know?
Yeah, dude. And I man, I had a thought in my mind a second ago and I forgot what it was. But yeah, it's super fucked. Oh, me and NASCAR were talking about it. NASCAR Allo, when we played a show in Houston about like 2 months ago. He got banned on Instagram permanently, like literally right around when I did as well. And he's still doesn't have his account back. And then same with Tracy as well. Tracy got his banned, but then it like came back. So I think he's good now. But me and NASCAR are in the same boat.
I've never heard of an account coming back, to be honest.
Yeah, it's rare. It's so fucking rare. So
That's why I was
rare.
interested in your story, because you mentioned to me that you were trying to do whatever you could to figure out, you know, like whether it's legal or whatever you got to do, like give me my shit back. And it's like it's almost impossible. It's an impossible task.
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous. Like, so it's like confusing because I don't understand why they are so persistent on that. I don't know if it's like because once your account's banned, you make a new account and it's considered a new account on their platform, like therefore another new individual. I don't really know. A business standpoint is what I'm kind of thinking of. Like maybe that could be it, but at the same time, I don't understand how this isn't hurting them more than anything else. Like the amount of people they fuck over is just crazy, and they swear up and down they care about creators and all this stuff. And like I work with a label called Cleopatra Records in LA, and they have like a team at Meta that will handle the accounts. So I went through them. I actually talked to the head of music label partnerships at Meta. I spoke to her, and she told me have them reach out to her team, and they'll handle it. And I was like, all right, hell yeah, bet. So I had them reach out to her team. They literally ghosted us, like literally ghosted the label, like their own employees. They stopped responding to their own employees, which was like, I don't understand. I really don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, it really does just beg more questions, and you're like, what? Like, is the purpose, like, why did I get banned? Like, how do I contact the right person? And then it's just like everything that you run into, there's just another question, you know?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it's just an unsolvable thing, and it just blows my mind because, like we were saying, that could be somebody's livelihood that you're just turning off. You know, that could be like somebody's river, their well of water of their
100%.
life that they count on, that you're just turning off and starving them for with no real explanation. So I
Yeah,
don't think
and
that it's
I-
silly personally to. I don't think it's silly to overreact about losing something that's paying your rent.
Yeah.
Because that's a
Yeah.
difficult thing to build.
True. Yeah. I mean, it was paying all my. I was paying all my bills. It was paying everything. I was actually living comfortably for the first time, like as like an independent adult. You know, not having to worry about like rent and where I'm getting food from and like all that stuff. So like I get it, and like I support every damn artist and every damn person that's, you know, and any financial sort of situation, it's fucked. But I think artists, like, you eat so much crap and you like spend so much money to put yourself out there. I mean, like for shows, even like there's some shows where I haven't even gotten paid and I flew across the country for it. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's just how it is, you know. And everybody's
for
like,
sure.
well, and everybody's like, you shouldn't be doing these shows if you're not getting paid. Like my parents, it took them a while to come around. It took them a while to be like, why are you traveling all the way here and not getting paid, and you're spending all your money and on a flight and hotel and travel and Ubers and all this? And I'm like, well, because like I gotta sacrifice. Like I gotta eat crap for a while to ever feel some sort of like return, you know. And
Yeah.
it's that return never happens, but
Nothing
And
comes
then-
easy in the music industry, you know, unless you are plugged in or you were born into a family where they have all the connections and they've done all the work for you. You know, other than that, there's no easy
Yep.
way. You know, every once in a while you might get lucky and go viral, but even then now it's like you'll see like a viral tweet, but you'll see like something be retweeted like 50,000 times and they gain 50 followers from it. And you're like, how the hell does that happen? Like in OG Twitter, it would be different.
hardest thing, you know what I mean? To get somebody to actually care and want to see more of your stuff is definitely the hardest part. I was actually I was a social media manager for like a lot of brands before I started doing music, and actually, well, in the beginning as well, I was doing like clothing brands and cannabis brands and like like fucking tequila brands and agencies and all that stuff, and I was basically managing their social media profiles and like helping them grow and all
really
that
cool.
stuff. Yeah, and I mean, it helped me with like how to market myself, you know. Like I learned how to take. I didn't want to just be an artist. I didn't want to just be an individual. I wanted to be a brand. I wanted to be Goner. I want it to be like, you know, like it's like a thing. You know what I mean? I want when somebody thinks of the name, I want them to think of exact imagery and like feeling and like, you know,
Your
all
brand.
that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I love that you started off with like photography and video and stuff like that, and you kind of like built more art off of that, you know, like music and music videos and stuff like that. I think that's really dope. Do you do like
Yeah,
most of your stuff by yourself, or?
I used to. When I lived in Florida, especially, I would take all my own photo shoots myself. I mean, I've designed pretty much almost all of my own cover art. I've put together almost all of my own music videos. I've edited, I think, probably like the first year and a half, I edited and shot all my own music videos independently, like just by myself. So I would have like a tripod, and then I would put my camera on it, and then I would record and then do a bunch of different shots and then do all the motion after. So like it didn't look like I was just setting the camera up on a tripod.
Yeah.
And then I was super into conceptual photography. If you're familiar with conceptual photography, I was like super into Photoshop and like making weird pictures and like dark stuff. And I went not viral at all, but like my Tumblr actually started growing a lot.
Yeah,
from that.
yeah. That's awesome.
So I started posting on Tumblr, and then started putting my music behind the pictures, and you know, it was like it worked. You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it worked, but like people care, and that's all I could really ever ask for. So
Yeah, and I feel like in this world, it's hard, it's so difficult to find people that care. You know, that's why I always try to remind myself and, you know, the people around me that, you know, to care about somebody, like, let them know too. Like, by the way, Connor, I care about you, man. Thank you for being here and being part of episode number 19. And
everybody in this chat, I care about everybody that's watching the video, everybody that's gonna watch. I love all y'all, and I hope you guys are doing great. And yeah, man, keep at it, man. You can always start over tomorrow. So
yeah, and one thing is when you lose an account, or, you know, you feel like you have to start over, it's important to remember that you're not really technically starting with nothing. You're starting with everything that you learned from that experience, everything that worked before, everything that didn't work before. You know, you're saving yourself a lot of trial and error, a lot of troubleshooting when you start over.
Exactly. I think the hardest part of that whole thing was realizing that, like, everybody that was, you know, genuine and, like, my friends and people that have heard about me and didn't care about, like, I mean, I thought that when I made a new account that nobody was going to follow it, to be honest with you. Like, I thought that, like, it was going to be, like, a real bummer. But it grew kind of quick, and, you know, I'm not complaining. But it's at like 40,000, like 700 or some shit. But I'm super grateful, and my manager was like, yeah, everybody, like, you seeded yourself to be, like, you know, you're not just like a random individual. You like kind of implemented yourself, and, like, people know about you and, like, have met you and your friends, and, you know, you've, like, done enough groundwork to where it will still, people will be like, oh shit, here's his new account, let's follow it. And so yeah, I'm super grateful that everybody, like, is just following me again. Honestly, like, I missed everybody. I genuinely missed, like, connecting with people that cared, like, because I lost so many people during that time period. It's so fucking weird, because also, I'm sorry if I'm cursing too much, because I know we're on YouTube, right?
Yeah, we're fine.
All right. But I lost friends, honestly, as weird as that sounds, during that time period, because I lost my Instagram. And it was really weird for me to, like, grasp that, because I was like, these were, like, close friends of mine, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna drop any names, I'm not gonna do all that, but it's like people that I thought I could, like, call if I was, like, down, you know, or if I could, like, because I've been there before for them, and I've, like, shown them around, or, like, I put them onto things and whatever, and I kind of just, like, want, not that I expect people to reciprocate things, but I just want somebody to treat me like a human, not just like, I lost my account, you're gonna cut me off and stop responding to my text type deal. You know what I mean? There's a lot of artists that, and it struck me, bro, like, artists that I've worked with and artists that I've been friends with and done shows with and all that, I've been to their house and shit, like that kind of crap, where, like, I lost my Instagram and then they literally have not talked to me since. And I, like, don't get it. Like, they have my number, and I've texted them and been like, yo, how are you? You know, no response, nothing at all. So I just let it go. And, you know, I missed, like, connecting to people like you, and, like, people that, like, everybody that just cares, bro, and isn't there for just weird reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so hard to figure out, like, who is there because you're doing well when you're doing well. That's why I think day ones are so important. That's why I was saying earlier that, like, it's not about who pops in the stream right now, it's about who stays. It's about the people that hang out, it's about the people that join the voice channel, it's about the people that are going to be here next week, you know. And it's like, it's really hard to know that when you have success. I feel like I can't imagine, I've never, other than my Twitter account, I don't know what, like, a large amount of success or you know, fame or wealth would be like. But I can only imagine that when you're doing well, that everybody around you just wants to leech off you in one way or another.
It's a weird transition. I mean, I don't ever hold myself to, like, you know, I know I'm not as big as I will be, or as big as everybody else, or, you know, all this shit. But, like, right now, it's definitely a weird transition. It's a weird, like, going from, you know, not really doing anything, and then people, like, seeing that maybe you can help them in some sort of way, or, you know, somebody they want to know or whatever. And that part definitely took a little bit to set with me, because I didn't really realize it, especially in LA. I didn't really realize, like, coming from Florida, where nobody really cares about anything. Florida's nuts. Let me start off. With
I know.
Florida's crazy, but nobody really cares about following or that nonsense. But overall, I think that like moving to LA and meeting people that like they base their entire lives around that, I had to learn real quick.
So how would you describe the culture in LA after living there for, however many years you've been there now? Do you think that it's more caring or less caring? Like, I feel like it has a bad reputation of, like we were talking about earlier, there's a lot of homeless people that just get walked by every day. A lot of people there are pursuing dreams, and I think that people there probably get sick of that kind of mentality because it's like, it's like the place to go. It's the mecca of music, Hollywood, and to be in the movies or to be a successful musician. It's like that's where everybody lives. That's where everybody, that's where you meet people. That's where you make connections. And obviously it attracts a large amount of people. So what do you think about it?
My vibes on LA, I mean, I love the amount of culture and I love the amount of diversity and like accepting of people there. I love that, because coming from Florida, for example, like, people are very fucking hateful there. Like, people are very hateful, and I'm a very vocal person on everybody should be accepted. It doesn't matter about their sexuality or how, their gender. It doesn't matter about who they're feel they are. You need to accept exactly what they tell you, and there should be no questions about that. And being very vocal on that kind of stuff, and being friends with a lot of people that are LGBTQ, and just constantly having people that are affected by a lot of laws that are passed, or all that kind of stuff. I'm grateful in the sense that how open LA is in that sense.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I don't have to deal with if I'm with my friends, I don't have to fucking feel like I'm gonna beat the shit out of this kid because he's being homophobic, you know what I mean? I don't really have to worry about that there.
Or the flip side is, if you're hanging out with one of your gay friends or something and you have like somebody that's being hateful, you don't really have to worry about that in LA either. You're kind of more safe in that way, where if you were in certain parts of Kentucky or Alabama or something like that, the culture there is a lot different. A lot of their beliefs are different. Same with like Minnesota, we're a different culture, and New York is kind of a different culture, and Florida is certainly a different culture of its own. So I do understand that.
Yeah, I feel like everybody should be able to live life and be accepted for who they are, and not have to worry about being legitimately hate crimed for existing, or killed by police or whatever the hell I'm talking about. You know what I mean? But I think overall, I like LA. I think it's you can get lost in some shit real quick. You can get really caught up in the wrong crowd, and like depends on the people you have around, and like from the get-go, I have a manager. He's been my day one since before anybody else there at all, ever. He met me when I first dropped my first EP on SoundCloud. Literally was like one of the first couple hundred people that checked it out, and he found me off that, and I literally moved into his apartment when I was 19. And I just literally couch surfed in his apartment for months, and wow. I got a job Whole Foods, bro, and I was grinding my ass off, and I was playing shows, and around that period is where I met like the label that I currently work with, and I met Zan, who ended up collaborating with me, and we've hung out a couple times. Super cool guy, and I'm super grateful in the opportunities LA has given me, for sure. But so to touch on the homeless sense, I've never seen anybody be hateful to anybody homeless, which I'm super, thankful for. I can't imagine ever having to like beat the shit out of somebody for being rude to a homeless person, because I will 100% beat the shit out of somebody for being rude to a homeless person. But it's super sad. It's super sad to fucking see people, in the position they're in and not being helped by, the government, which very, very, very obviously can do a lot. And I wish there was more that I could personally do but I think it's just opened my eyes, and being, grateful, and being, just grateful that I'm in the position I'm in and never had to worry about, being in that position.
Yeah, man, no doubt. It's definitely something that we could all pitch in. I feel like as like humans, we're just gonna all have to help in one way or another, and do it in a way where it's respectful and not necessarily trying to do it for attention or anything. But
Exactly.
a lot of people are in a good place, and a lot of people aren't, and it's important to know when what you have and to be grateful for it, for sure.
Exactly. Sorry, I gotta put my phone in. I'm walking.
Oh, you're good. We've been playing music off your Spotify for the last hour, bro. It's just been kind of in the background or whatever. So but I did want to play a few songs that were submitted for Spooky Sunday still. So I'm going to be playing those while we're chilling as well, guys. The song is A Coward Culture by Jordy. Jordy's a awesome friend, dude. He's always chilling with us in the Discord here. So shout out Jordy. And then Trash Boy's got a song he submitted. Kid Wavy has one. Rude. Oh, yeah, we got one from Goth Angel. She's in the chat here. And then one for Zway. And then we're probably going to watch a couple of the videos that you have on your playlist, Connor.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably watch 2 or 3 of your videos, and then we'll wrap it up, man. And we've already been talking for an hour. Doesn't it just fly by?
It does, bro. It does. Thank you again.
Yeah, you're welcome. I love to have you. It's been a blessing. I appreciate you. I love your vibe, man. I love watching your grind. Like I said, I've noticed you been performing shows lately, been traveling. I remember when we were kind of setting this up, you were like, oh, I just got to make sure that I'm not going to be traveling or performing at that time. So I'm glad that it all worked out.
I'm in Arizona right now, but I wanted to make sure
What are you doing in Arizona?
I seen Taylor Swift last night, my boy.
You went to a Taylor Swift concert?
Yeah, I did.
Wow, she's selling out the U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis, which is a huge. I mean, this is where the Vikings, the NFL plays. So she sold that out 2 nights in a row.
She sold out the Cardinals arena here last night and the night before. Crazy.
I mean, how incredible of a level is that to be at, where you're selling out the NFL stadiums? I don't think it gets too much bigger than that anymore.
She had more attendees at her concert than the Super Bowl at the same stadium.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah, and then she had Paramore open up, which was super cool to see, and Hayley Williams just incredible.
She's crazy with it. Absolutely. Was those the only 2 artists?
And then it was shit. Who opened up? I didn't get there for the first opener. Oh, it was Gail. It was like the what song does she have that's like super popular? The ABCDU song. It's like A B C D F U A M R and then that one.
I have heard that.
Right. Yeah, that one. But I didn't see her play because I was stuck in traffic.
So it must have been a pretty busy show then.
Bro, yeah, packed.
A lot of people.
Whew. Yeah, I think like 65,000 or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is the most money that she's making is probably through her merch on those nights too.
Yeah. True.
That's another thing I like to bring up for artists. Like, you're not really gonna get. It's gonna be a long time before you get paid to perform at shows. It's gonna be a long time before you getting paid like a good amount of money for your streams. But if you have like 100 fans and 50 of them will buy a T-shirt like once every few months, that'll help make a difference and help you get a new mic or a new setup or a new computer or help you invest in some new stuff. It's definitely something that I always tell artists, like, if you're gonna go on tour, you need to have your merch. You have to have your shit ready to go.
100%, dude. I have personally slacked on doing new merch because I did merch a couple months ago, or actually it was probably a year ago now, and it sold out, and I just haven't done anything since. But honestly, just hearing you say that, because it's been in my head the last like couple weeks, I'm gonna do it.
You have to, man. It's so important.
Yeah.
Do you do
I already
any?
I already have a whole design too, but
Oh, you do?
yeah, I know exactly
So
what
there's
I'm gonna
nothing
do.
for you to worry about then.
There's nothing for me to worry about. I'm just being lazy.
Yeah, you gotta get off. You gotta get off the procrastination, as we all do, and make that happen, bro. For sure. Especially now that your Instagram is starting to pop off again. Like, a nice little merch drop could help you grow the brand a little bit. You know, maybe be able to afford to perform at another show somewhere or something. You know.
Exactly.
And that's huge too, because then you can bring your merch to that. You know.
Yeah, and then make even more money.
Yeah, and also you're growing your fan base while you're out there performing, because like I've tried to explain, you know, this show is kind of like a platform for smaller artists, for people that obviously I'm not going to have Taylor Swift on here or anything, but for underground artists that are making waves. If she ever did, I'd be blessed, but I don't know if I could handle the numbers. It might crash the stream.
Maybe have her back it a little bit.
She's got to be one of the biggest artists out there right now.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I mean, I never even was like that big into her, and then like her album Evermore really got me into it, and then it was like, just because it was more like sad not acoustic, but more just guitar and like more not really pop in a way. It was more
low
like
key,
alternate. Yeah, and I really liked it, and I felt like that's why I dropped that Taylor Swift cover myself, because I was like, damn, this shit hits.
So would you consider yourself a pretty big fan?
Yeah, man, for sure.
Who are some other big artists that you really like?
She's got me. I love Yeet, bro. Yeet's fire as hell. Personally,
we had a producer on the show named Beardex. Are you familiar with him?
Yeah.
He makes melodies and stuff like that, and he actually showed us a snippet that Yeet posted where he had used one of Beardex's like melodies or beats or something like that, but it's for an unreleased song, so he's never dropped it.
Damn. I remember when I had at Goner, Yeet would follow me and unfollow me for like a good year, and he was like at Yeet1_ at the time though, and I like never peeped his shit, bro, and I fucking beat myself up for it because I love his music.
You were sleeping on him, huh?
Bro, I was sleeping, bro, and I try not to do that because like I'm not that guy, but at the same time I was like, I just didn't think about it. And then I got put onto his music, bro, and he's fucking fire, bro. So big L on my part, but I love that guy. He's incredible. You know who else has me as of recent? Fucking Ice Spice, bro. She's got me on board.
Oh yeah, Ice Spice.
She got me on board. Yep.
You're definitely naming people that are that have either you love them or you hate them kind of thing. I think like there's not like too much of a middle ground. You know, like with Ice Spice, there's a lot of people that are either like I love Ice Spice or she's trash. You know, that's what I usually see anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't really let like the opinions of everybody else like, you know. Yeah, but bro, because she's fucking doing it. You know what I mean? Like, her numbers are up, everything's up, everybody's seeing what she's doing. Like, there's nothing she's doing wrong. So, like, how can you not? You know what I mean? Like, as an artist, how can you not respect the shit out of that? So,
what do you what do you like about her that stands out, that is unique?
I feel like I have to say the music is, I like the music because I do. It's catchy. It's super catchy. But that's probably not my biggest thing with her. It's probably just the fucking marketing, man. It's probably just exactly like, I don't even know if it's orchestrated at this point, because I feel like and maybe in the beginning it was a bit orchestrated, like, you know, have these pages post this certain thing and all that. But I don't know anymore. I wonder if it just caught on and like sort of just happened. But it's the marketing for me. It got me,
like
bro.
Her hair, for example, like how
and just like,
she
bro,
has like short curly orange hair and stuff.
Yeah. And just
her name's
posting
Ice
up,
Spice.
like, I mean, just posting up with fucking like, what's her name, Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian, like posting like, who goes to their house, man? That's just rare, and it's just respect. And
that is actually really crazy.
It's crazy. It's just out there, and overall, I think besides that, man, off the top of my head, I can't think of nobody else right now. Yeah, probably it right now.
Well, I do appreciate you again for hanging out with me tonight, bro. Like I said, we're just playing a few little community songs here. This one is Goth Angel, and then yeah, you can't hear it right now, but I'm gonna share my screen with you here in the Discord so you can see the list that you gave me, and we're gonna, in like 5 seconds, we're gonna pull it up. I'm gonna share it with you, and then we're gonna pick some videos to watch that you can talk about.
Sounds good.
Let me go here. Let's see. Share your screen. I believe it's this one.
Can I drink wine on this stream?
Yeah.
Bet.
People smoke weed on the stream.
I didn't know that. I've been lighting up this whole time.
Yeah, I think it's mostly okay. I've had issues with YouTube, but all of them have been copyright issues, and it's funny because every time I've had it, like it's not a strike technically, but it's like by the way, can you see my screen that I'm sharing or no? Should be able to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with YouTube, it'll be like I'll be watching a music video. For example, we had 404 Vincent on. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's a really talented artist, and he was signed to Sony for a little while. So he had dropped some music under Sony, and what happened was we were trying to play the music with him like while he was on stream with us, and then right afterwards it was like, well, we have to block it because you're infringing on like copyright for like Warner Brothers or something.
In that case, hold on, let's be careful because some of these are owned by the label, and I don't want you to get that.
That's okay because I always get them unblocked. I just contact them and then I say I have complete rights to stream this because I'm with the artist. This is also manipulated. It's changed. It's not like the same broadcast as it once was, and they always get unblocked. So I'm not too worried about it. But
if you need me to like reach out to them because I'm personally like super close with my label, I'll do that for sure. If there's any problem, you know what I mean?
Sounds good, man. I appreciate that. I will. Yeah. I hope there aren't, but it does come up every once in a while. Usually it just says this is a copyright, but they allow you to use the music for one thing or another. You know, so usually it's okay. Worst case, I appeal it and we win. So far I'm undefeated. So I'm feeling pretty good.
It'll happen again. It'll be undefeated if it happens. So.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, by the way. So what are a few videos that you would want to show or talk about while we're...
Watch Ghost.
This one?
Yeah, it's a couple of years old.
Let me turn on the audio. Is this one that you helped film or had
I had a bit of a direction of the video, but I didn't film it. My good friend Michael Ortega filmed this, and then Dylan O'Donovan edited it.
I love the editing of it. It's kind of spooky, and I love the transitions too. It's kind of like, and the shots are really nice too.
We recorded this on a mountain in Big Bear at about 3 a.m. And the filming location was the original scene of Frankenstein.
What?
Yep.
Like the old classic movie Frankenstein?
Yep.
Is that like a mask you made right there?
No, it's an edit.
Oh, wow. Green hair too?
Yeah.
Less hand tattoos?
Oh yeah, way less.
These edits are pretty crazy though. Trash Boys throwing some fire in the chat. Hey, everybody that's hanging out, that's chilling, man. Throw a little bit of fire in the chat for Goner, our special guest for episode number 19 of Spooky Sunday. Can't believe we've already had 19 episodes, bro.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate you for being here and being part of the history.
Always.
And I made a little animation for you that I can send it to you. It's like in where it says Goner. It was at the beginning. It was at the beginning of the stream today, where it said special guest with, and then your name right there. So if you ever want to use it for like any visuals or anything, you're more than welcome to have that, because I'll send it to you. I'll make sure I'll email it to you, because there's only so much I can do with it, you know.
I appreciate it.
That was really sick, though. How long ago did you drop? 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years. That was like one of my first music videos, and then the 4 years ago was the very first, Where I'm Going. I edited and shot that.
Where's that one? Let's pull that one up.
Also, Numb Enough I edited and shot. Here, scroll up a little bit.
Numb Enough?
Yeah, let's watch that.
I'll check them out. I
This is
like to see the
Miami,
ones that you
actually.
shot. Is this in California?
Miami.
Oh, Miami when you were in Florida.
Yeah, I
What's
live
up,
in Florida.
Calvin Moon?
I actually was shooting Ultra this exact weekend, and then I filmed this.
Dude, you look like a baby in these. How long were you in Miami for? Or Florida?
Florida? I was there for 18 years. Or
18
no.
years?
No, bro, I'm tripping. I was 18 when I left. I was there for 11 years.
Okay. So is that where your parents are right now, in Florida?
Yes.
That's so dope that you film it yourself too, though.
Thank you. I forgot about this, bro.
I like going back in people's history though, and looking at the growth and the development and
That's at
stuff.
Ultra. Actually, that was at Ultra.
I love that.
Bro, I haven't watched this in years.
Kind of reminds you like of your journey though, and like how far you've come.
does,
Like when I
bro.
go back and listen to my old music or watch my old videos or anything like that I created, it always like reminds me of like, oh wow, like I've come a long way.
Bro, I had one tattoo on this arm.
Yeah, I was gonna say you look like a completely different person almost.
Right.
Do you have more shows planned already?
I just booked Seattle and Salt Lake City.
When are you doing that?
I'm doing Seattle May 26th, and then I'm doing Salt Lake City June 20th, I believe.
Very dope, bro. You're just traveling all over. Texas.
Yeah, man, that was such like a goal of mine, like growing up, you know, like thinking about traveling, like seeing all these cool places and like being like, oh, I've been there, and then yeah, man, I'm super grateful that like the first time usually me being in somewhere is me playing a show.
I love that, man. That's really cool though.
Oh.
That's a fun experience.
I want to hit Germany so badly because my biggest listener base is Germany. Like I think I have like, I don't even know. I mean next to US, but I feel like I could do some solid shows there.
That'd be sick.
I need
man.
I need a passport, bro.
Yeah, me too.
I've been lazy.
What's another video that you shot that you would want us to pull up here before we shout you out one last time? By the way, you guys follow Goner's Revenge on Instagram. Or if you guys all use Instagram, make sure you do. Go hit that follow. Otherwise, what is it? Not Goner on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay. So Not
And
Goner
then
on Twitter.
Spotify, Goner, all that.
Yep. Easy to find.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you want one that I shot myself?
Yeah, kinda. I like that.
All right, bet.
Because
Scroll
it's like
down a little
artistically, it's like all you in a way, you know.
Room keeps spinning, extra visual. It's only like a minute long, but
We'll pull it up. Ooh, I actually watched this one.
did you?
Yeah, I watched a few of these already.
So that was outside of my house in Florida. I had a smoke machine set up, my old camera, light outside there, my old recording microphone. Obviously, I wasn't recording at the time. And yeah,
That background is beautiful though. It looks like such a sick spot.
literally right outside my house.
Looks so sick, dude. Trees and everything. Looks like a jungle.
It is.
I heard a song that you had with Splash Gang too.
Yeah.
That's my brother. He was in the chat earlier today while we were talking. But yeah, him and I grew up together. Same block
Really?
actually. Yeah, the same block.
Dude, that's so fire.
Yeah, he's my brother. So I always love to see like people using his beats, or I like to see the connection there. You know what I'm saying? Like when I have different artists on or whatever. It's always cool.
I like that the song that he produced. I interpolated Kid Cudi's "Teleport to Me," and it was like one of the first songs that I found of Kid Cudi, and I dropped it, and then fucking one of Cudi's friends, King Chip, if anybody's aware of King Chip, he's so goated, and he had that song with Cudi called "Just What I Am," and that song I remember finding when I was literally for the first time dealing with depression. And I was like, damn, they made a song about me, like, holy crap. I mean, I'm 12 years old, keep in mind, but I was starting to deal with that, and I found that song, and then King Chip actually followed me the other day on Instagram, so I was like super hyped about it.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like a full circle. It's just super cool when that happens.
By the way, Trash Boy in the chat said, I made a reel using this song when we were playing Room Keeps Spinning, I believe. He said, I made a reel using this song. That's how I found Goner, actually. So that's a really cool story. It's like a discovery story.
That's so fire.
And he's an active member of my Discord, so that's really dope.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that, and like, I feel like it's super, like, unmentioned by artists how much like a single reel or like a single like story helps with just sharing music. Like it's so undermined, and I truly appreciate that, because like you never know that one reel or that one story could put so many people on, and like I'm grateful.
All right, let's watch one more of your music videos. You tell me which one to play, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Again, I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me and Goner tonight. Episode 19, Spooky Sunday. Special guest, my friend, my homie. Dude, it's been really fun to talk to you about like your journey and the social media and the similar experiences that you and I have had together. And it's always fun to kind of connect with an artist that I haven't really talked to too much and get to know them a little bit better. And Spooky Sunday is kind of like a meet and greet too, like after a show or something, it's like you can actually like hang out and talk or be part of the conversation and stuff. And I think that it's just really cool to have you. So
thank you, man. I appreciate that. No, thank you, bro. Like you put this whole thing together, and you asked me to hop on here, and I was fucking hyped when you asked me, and I'm grateful, because super low key, I wasn't gonna mention this, but I was waiting for the moment. But here,
manifesting it.
I was manifesting it low key. Let's watch shit music video, huh?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna post this playlist in the Spooky Sunday channel too. So anybody that wants to pick through this, you are more than welcome.
Would you mind scrolling down for me?
Yeah, of course.
Keep going. Keep on going. Let's see what we got at the bottom. Let's see. Let's do on my own.
That one's pretty new. Yeah, I was gonna say let's end it with something kind of new so people can see the difference,
For sure.
I love that shot.
Yeah, that's super dope.
I was really on my own, you were never really home, never picking up the phone, oh no.
One last time, everybody, put some fire in the chat for our friend Goner. Make sure you follow on the socials. I already am. You should too. Appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out with us, for being part of Spooky Sunday history. I can't wait to see where you go with your journey, Goner, over the next few years. I'm going to be following. I'm going to be watching.
Thank you, bro.
I believe in you, man. I know big things are coming your way. You work really hard. You're very passionate.
Thank you.
I don't see anything slowing down for you. Get that merch made, though.
I'm gonna.
appreciate you, Roshi and Brutal and Trash Boy, Calvin Moon, Cybel, Phantoms, Swain, everybody that hung out with us tonight. You guys are absolutely insane. We couldn't do it without you. I love that green.
Yeah, it was fire.
It's all good, Brutal. I just appreciate you so much, brother.
It's like one of my favorite shots, bro, because behind me is dogs. There's dogs behind me.
Do you have a dog?
I do.
What's his name? Her name?
His name is Dior, and he's a
Dior.
Pomeranian. He weighs 6 pounds.
So you put him in your bags and stuff?
Bro, yeah, he's a fucking dork. And then in Florida, that I have with my parents still, actually, my dad, I'm super attached to him. I have a black lab, and his name is Jovi.
Ooh, I love black labs. They're so nice. Jazzy's in the chat. I've been watching on my laptop. Appreciate you, Jazzy. Roshi says I love Pomeranians.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really good video, man.
Thank you, bro. They actually came out from France to shoot that. It was really cool.
Wow. I'm going to post this playlist in the Spooky Sunday channel right here, chat. So if you guys want to, you're more than welcome to pull that link up and go through it. But other than that, I think we're going to wrap things up. We shoot for like between 1 and 2 hours, and I think that this is a good time to do that, Goner. So thank you again for hanging out, man, for chilling with us and sharing your time and your perspective on things. And I really am excited to watch your journey. And also, if you ever drop an album or any sort of project, I'd be happy to host it and do an album listening party here for you.
Hell yeah, bro. That sounds fucking incredible. I'm gonna keep that in mind because there's some stuff in the works.
Awesome. And also, I'm considering maybe even doing like like a show in Spooky Land eventually. No time soon. We would have plenty of time in advance, but where you would perform over Discord basically, and we'd have just a few people just do something fun, and then you could promote your merch or your website or whatever, and your socials, and kind of like make it kind of a little fun event. So
totally. Let me know. Where are you based out of again?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
All right, bet. When I do a show there, you're coming.
Dude, please do. I'm trying to set up. I did do I had a Spooky Fest where me and an artist named Young Kel put together a show at a free show at a venue in Denver, and we had artists from Texas and New Jersey, Portland. A bunch of people came and just to be part of the show. Some people came just to watch it, and they were wearing my merch even, and it was just a really fun, cool experience. So I'd like to do some stuff, more stuff like that in the future as well.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, man, I would please keep me posted on if you ever come up this way. I would be happy to grab some food with you and hang out with you. Others have in the past as well, and it's always a fun time to meet somebody in person and show them around the Mall of America or something.
Sure, bro. Let's do it. Let's get lost in the Mall of America while we're on shrooms or some shit.
It would be a fun time if you've never been there. It's a pretty big spot.
Never been.
Yeah, it's a pretty big spot. It's got an amusement park in the middle of it. It's pretty cool.
Fire.
So.
Hell yeah, say less.
But I love you, my friend. I appreciate you.
Likewise.
I'm grateful for your time. If anybody in the voice chat has any questions or anything they would like to say to Goner before we let him go, you are more than welcome. You say anything, Angel? I thought somebody was saying something, but I could have been me. My bad. But other than that, guys, we're going to wrap up episode 19 of Spooky Sunday. Make sure you're following Goner on Instagram at Goner's Revenge, on Twitter at Not Goner. Big things coming. I don't see things slowing down for you anytime soon. We're waiting on that merch. And when you do drop it, you are more than welcome to post a link to it or anything in the community art channel of this Discord as well. If you ever drop a new song, you can post it there. People are already fans of you, evidently, here. So
thank you.
It would be definitely cool to see you around here more if you have the time and to say what up and keep us updated with what you're doing, brother.
Say less, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all so much. And I hope everyone has a great night. And thank you for listening to me rant about my life.
Nah, I was, to be totally honest, I had an amazing time with you, and I was really interested in everything we were talking about, especially the social media stuff was really interesting to me. I think that, we had similar journeys in the past. I've had similar experiences with with that kind of thing. So it's interesting to hear your perspective, and I'm happy that you didn't give up on yourself and that you're gonna keep going. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, man. Likewise, bro. I'm super proud of you, and congratulations, bro. Episode 19. You about to hit 20 next, boy. So
yeah, we're going for like 2,000. So we got a lot
Easy.
left. But you're OG as heck, man.
Yeah.
Love you guys. We're gonna go ahead and end the stream. If you haven't already, please sub to the channel. I love you guys. Have an amazing night.